Welcome to tonight's Iola City Council meeting. Session open. Please stand for pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice. Thank you. There he is. There's Richard. All right. The agenda. Any questions, concerns, comments?
Make a motion to approve the agenda.
I will second that.
Motion made and second. All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Public comments. Is there anyone here tonight that wishes to make any comments on any topic that is not on our agenda tonight? Topic not on the agenda?
This is not on the agenda.
It is on the agenda? It's not? Sorry, I misunderstood that. Come on up. You got 3 minutes.
I won't take that one.
I'm Myra Gleason. I usually can only make it to like one city council meeting a month, and so I try and utilize my time to watch them on YouTube. You guys probably already know this, and it's probably in the works, but I was hoping we could get an upgrade on maybe the camera, the microphone. During many of the city council meetings, there are like 30-second to 45-second silence where there's just static, so you don't hear what anybody is saying during those times, even though people are speaking. And so, as a constituent, I feel like I miss sometimes some of what everybody is saying with, I just think the lack of the microphone and maybe quality camera. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Same subject. I got hit up, aren't you going to council meeting anymore? And I said, yeah, I go all the time. And they said, I never see you on TV. And I said, well, I never watch TV. So I know people watch it, and they were upset. I didn't even know this kid, but he said, I see you all the time.
Thanks, Donna. Anyone else?
Probably a friendly reminder too that we need to talk into our mics better. I mean, that's we've been yelling that one for years though.
Yep. They're not a real strong mic unless you're up close to it.
I do have Robert look into redoing
you did.
this in a different fashion. So,
did you hear that, Myra?
Yes.
He's our IT.
Yes, and I figured that you guys would probably look at that. I just wanted to make sure that there's no reason.
Thanks for reminding us. We'll do better at getting close to the mics. Consent agenda. Any questions?
I have one.
Yes, ma'am.
And maybe this situation came up just recently, and I called in about it regarding the nuisance ordinance. I don't know if this is an appropriate time or an appropriate place to put it, but noise nuisance.
That's an officer.
Well, the buck keeps getting.
box in the U-box, yeah.
It's a police issue.
Okay.
And we'll have the UPOC and the STO at the next meeting, maybe the meeting after. I know
Okay.
Chief's going over it with Bob, I believe. So we should have that, but we could follow up with what's in it for you.
So, since it's being reviewed by legal, can we discuss noise?
Yeah, I don't see why we couldn't.
Well, I had a neighbor mowing the lawn at 4:30 in the morning the other morning using a headlamp. It went on for about hour and a half. I always thought that the noise ordinance was 7 a.m. to 10 p.m. was when you could have noise, like construction, whatever, weed eating and mowing the lawn, but definitely not 4:30 a.m.
Yeah, we can take a look at that.
Okay, I appreciate it. Thank you.
No further questions. Can we get a motion?
I'll make a motion to pass the consent agenda.
I'll second.
Motion made and second. All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. All right. This is time when we will begin the process to address the revenue neutral rate concerning our budget. So at this time, we will officially open the public hearing as it pertains to the revenue neutral rate. This is the crowd's time to speak if they so wish.
Go ahead and close it.
Okay. No one wishing to come forward, we will close the hearing on the revenue. Oh, sorry.
That's okay. You couldn't see me behind the
Hi, Patty. Please tell us who you are.
Patty Hain.
Make sure that mic's pulled close, please.
I'm just wondering, why is it that every year our valuation goes up so much? I'm paying more tax here than my children are paying in Fort Collins, Colorado. And their home is worth a whole lot more than mine. Is there something that we're doing wrong, or do we need to have reevaluation?
The evaluations are done at the county level.
We're the county
Unfortunately-
people that was supposed to be here.
Pardon?
I thought we had somebody from the county coming. No.
No, that's tomorrow night.
It'd be at the courthouse tomorrow. They have their R&R hearing and their budget hearing tomorrow.
We had a county commissioner that was here
You may
2
be
weeks ago.
talking about the recycling. John Brocker was here at the
No,
last
John
meeting.
ran an ad inviting everyone to the
Yeah.
R&R hearings, but he's just letting you know when they are. I don't believe he says he's going to be
okay.
here.
Okay.
The overall county appraisal is done in the courthouse. And
Okay.
And we have no say
so
over.
we have no say over the valuation.
No, but property owners can contest their evaluation
Yes, you can.
by going through the appraiser's office at the county courthouse.
Okay.
And I'd also recommend, if you're doing work on your house, take the permits to the neighborhood revitalization program. And that's going to cap and lock your rates. But yeah,
Okay.
all appraisals that's a county issue.
Thank
Hands
you.
are tied. Sorry about
Okay.
that.
Thank you.
Okay. I closed it, didn't I?
Go ahead.
Yep. The hearing regarding the revenue neutral rate is hereby closed.
I'm going to make a motion to adopt Resolution 2015-17 to exceed the revenue neutral rate. And that will go through a roll call vote.
2025-17.
Yeah, not what I said. 2025-17. Did I mess it up?
I wasn't paying attention.
Oops.
I'll second that motion.
Motion made and second. All in favor, aye?
Nope.
Hold on.
Oh, roll call. Sorry. You're right.
Mayor French,
Yes.
Councilmember Albini,
Yes.
Councilmember Wykoff,
Yes.
Councilmember Peterson,
Yes.
Councilmember Shala,
Yes.
Councilmember Wells,
Yes.
Councilmember Grundy,
Yes.
Councilmember Lohman,
Yes.
Councilmember Middleton.
Yes.
So Mayor, it passes. If you want to make that comment.
Motion passes to exceed the revenue neutral rate.
Okay.
We will now move forward with opening the public hearing regarding the city budget. Any individual wish to come forth to discuss the city budget? Myra?
Myra Gleason. I want to first off and say and commend the city council for actually really submitting themselves to growth this year in two areas of ideas and kind of stepping into maybe a little bit of that vision for what Iola can be with the splash park and also with the outdoor gym. So I want to say thank you for bringing those things here with our budget. I know that budgeting is often difficult here when we're utilizing limited resources because there's only so much taxes to go around between all of the constituents and actual taxpayers. And so I know that your guys' job is hard on that end, so I want to say thank you, but not thank you, but thank you. And I know that you all are in discussions and things like that when it comes to how do we utilize our resources well. And I'm hopeful that you guys have, and past hearings or with each other, and even in the last city council meetings, that that you guys are confident that with the new budget for 2026, that it is going to include hopefully some areas in which we can continue to grow, utilizing these resources with new vision and all of that. So I just want to say, I'm not always up here to gripe and grovel. I do want to say thank you guys for working hard to try and keep Iola in the forefront of what it can be. I also am very excited that Camille Lavon is going to be, I believe, a tremendous resource for for her background and what she's going to bring to this city. And I can't wait to see how the council and her position works together. So I just want to say I'm very excited to have Camille here. I think she is a big warm hug, and I hope everybody gets to feel that as well. So thank you.
Thanks, Myra. Anyone else wish to speak to the budget? At this time, we will formally close the hearing pertaining to the budget. Council?
Any questions or any concerns here before I make this motion? Make a motion to approve the 2026 budget as published.
I'll second.
Motion made and seconded. All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
I'll pass around 2 copies if everyone will sign them, please.
I forgot a pen.
Wow, John.
Right?
Oh, that's a pencil. Joel, come on. Can I borrow your pen?
I'll borrow Steve's. It's fine.
All right, moving on.
Also borrow it? I got one. Pencil.
Land sale contract.
Council, I laid the original documents in front of you for the land sale of the 10 acres to Vine Energy Group out at the industrial site across from Russell Stover's. City Attorney Chase Vaughn has looked at it, agreed it's good.
Thanks, Joel.
Just need a motion and a second to approve the contract. And I would include in that motion, if you're willing to approve it, that staff has the authority to sign on the closing documents, because I'm not sure when the closing is going to be, and it's probably going to be in Kansas City or Overland Park. So Matt or I or Roxanne or somebody's going to have to go up there for the closing. So just keep that in mind.
That'll be fine.
Any questions or concerns, guys?
No, I'll make a motion to approve the land sale and development agreement with Vine Energy LLC and authorize staff to execute the necessary sale documents during the property closing.
Second.
Motion made and second. All in favor, aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries.
I would like to thank a past council. We got some funny looks whenever we bought this 80 acres, but past council had some foresight that said this was a growth opportunity in an industrial area when we bought it. Thank them for putting their neck out when they did. So, growth. Thank you, guys.
Yes. Growth. Absolutely. All right, roundtable, USDA Housing Preservation Grant. Vicki?
Hello. Hello, excuse my voice, I'm getting over a cold. I'm Vicki Moss, I'm a grant writer with Thrive Allen County, and I just wanted to talk to you guys, let you know about the USDA Housing Preservation Grant that we intend to apply for. I don't necessarily need anything from you, just to give you information, give you an opportunity to ask questions if you have any. And I asked Patrick Zerjax to be here because he manages this grant for us. And we actually got this grant in 2022. It's a 2-year grant, and then again in 2024. And in 2022, we had $75,000 that we used to help make home repairs for 11 homeowners here in Iola. And the 2024 grant was less money, $45,000, that helped 10 people. Well, that's the goal, 10 until 2026, and we've done 6 so far. They were little smaller projects on that one. And is that all correct, Patrick?
Yeah, we have most of them.
Sorry.
So yeah, we have 8 out of the 10 done right now.
Okay. Yeah, so it's been a really great grant. The first one was just in the Iola area. Second one was all of Allen County. This one that we're applying for now is just going to be Iola again, but it is the smaller amount, the $45,000 that we're allowed to ask for, and it'll be pretty much the same. I think we're gonna target $7,000 average repair, so about 5 to 6 properties, maybe more if they ask for smaller things. Some of the things that we've done have been new roofs, walk-in showers, wheelchair ramps, AC units, sewer line replacement, some windows, doors, just, some projects that people just kind of struggle to get done on their own. And so this just gives them an opportunity to get those repairs done and hopefully keep some of our houses in decent shape, so.
I'll say that the last one, I was on the committee to help decide for Allen County, and hearing that it's helping 10 families, because I know the day that we made the decision, it was really difficult to figure who, and the stories coming from these folks throughout not only Iola, but also our county, and a lot of them not making the wages to be able to afford the necessities to stay in their house, to make their house safe. And so this is doing a lot for our whole county to ensure that people are able to stay in their homes and provide for themselves and their families.
Do you have a specific means for identifying your potential client for the grant?
Yeah, so we pretty much blanket Allen County or Iowa, depending on what we're doing with different media. So we do radio, we do a lot of flyers, we do this kind of thing as well. And then once we accumulate enough applications, as Josiah, we actually have a group from outside of Thrive that comes together and decides which projects we're going to do. Last year that question came up, who decides? And I kind of shot off my mouth and said, I do. And that was the wrong answer. We want a broad swath of the public deciding. So Josiah and we have 3 or 4. We sit down, we look at a lot of different parameters, and we decide who we can help. And what I always try to do is we always have a minimum. So for this next grant, the minimum number is 7 we want to help. I always try to make it a 10. We want to average 10 people. There's going to be some projects that are more, some that are less, and for those that are less, it allows us to.
Yeah.
We replaced hot water heaters for people that had no hot water for months at a time. So that have a little more money, we can do roofs and things like that. But we do a lot of walk-in showers. So we typically look at the project itself and try to decide where it's going to have most. Safer. That's a big one, especially with the latest Home Depot grant, because we have over veterans applying for that one. Hours, because it really adds a high level of safety to folks' lives. So. Yeah.
And I would add too that, Thrive really, as people in the community have expressed the need for housing, it seems like since I've joined Thrive, there's been such a push, and there's a lot of grants that we go after that maybe we don't necessarily get, but we've gotten several in the housing realm, so.
This is off topic, a little bit, but on topic. Are there any grants coming down? I know that Sue's saying on galvanized or lead pipes, because I know that we probably got some older homes. Galvanized is starting to become an issue with the federal government for water quality. Are we seeing any openings for those? And I know with some of these 100-year-old, 200-year-old, 150-year-old houses, they've got to have some lead pipes in some of these that we'd love to get out.
Yeah, I haven't seen that yet, but I know I attended SEK Inc. had a meeting on Thursday that somebody from the state director from the USDA was there kind of talking about kind of their focus under the new administration. And I know she said that infrastructure was there's going to be a big push for that. So I would expect to see maybe something come up, and I'll just kind of keep my eyes open for something too. So.
I'm just curious, do you bid the labor out on these projects, or how does that work? The roof or the plumbing or whatever?
Not bid them out. I look at, I'll ask a specific contractor to look at it and give me a bid if I'm a little bit. I don't like to use local contractors here in Iola, and I do use one in Chanute. I'll use contractor as many. I start bidding them out, and these city guys are going to probably bury them, which I don't want to do. I'd rather keep it local if we can. So as long It's a good question.
Dunley Housing's been on the radar for a while, and it's wonderful that we have Thrive and employees that are willing to step up and do the task and identify some of these homes and write the grants. I know that's a lot of time and a lot of work, and it's really appreciated. Thanks. That helps our community all over.
Just so you know, we call Vicki the grant whisperer. She's amazing. You would think she's been doing this for 20 years now. She's been incredibly successful so far. And
no pressure. That is a big deal because it takes key words. You know, a simple word can get a grant not accepted.
The newspaper experience definitely helped us.
There you go.
Thank you all.
Thank you. Good information. Appreciate that. All right, disinterment ordinance. Robbie.
Good evening, everyone. I guess I might start out. Do any of you all have questions for me in regards to this? Just something you're immediately thinking of off the top of your head?
Is this proactive or reactive?
I'd say a little bit of both.
Okay.
This was it. So when Berkeley trained me on everything that was in his head for as many years as he did it, there was never a time that he did a disinterment which would be for an urn. So I had an individual reach out to me May or June or so, and she wanted to disinterment her father's urn. He gave me specific reasons why. And I had known that, like I said, Berkeley had never done one, had just done full burials or vaults, always by a direct widow. And there was only, I think, 3 that he had done the entire time he had been here. So I had a conversation with Corey and Matt, let's talk, with legal counsel, let's make sure we approach this the right way, especially get something on the books now, just get it taken care of if it's going to happen in the future possible. So reached out, spoke with Chase, and, he's reached out or, put together this ordinance for how it should associate with Iola. And I've got another document I created after he gave me another example one, just a permit. So here we are tonight.
I reviewed this, and I know that Fireburn was involved with one in Chanute not too long ago. Mm-hmm. This really sounds like it mirrors the procedures they took to do it.
Yeah.
So it seems, because they followed the vault company and then the funeral home and funeral director. So
making sure all of our T's are crossed and I's are dotted exactly how we need to legally to approach this for a family if they're obviously the money expense that is going to incur to them if they want to move forward with such a thing.
Yeah. So this is going to show some ignorance because I've never even heard this term. Cemetery sexton, would that be you or is that somebody else?
That's me.
So that's just the person who oversees?
Keeper.
Yep. Oversees any kind of work of any sort in a cemetery.
Josiah from Mexico, I had to look up that too.
No, it doesn't.
You guys were in high school. We had a sexton at Highland
I think that
Cemetery.
goes back with the icebox.
Chase, you're not helping me out.
Especially before, we have somebody come forward, and obviously estrangement can happen in anybody's family. And before we were to go ahead and jump and do this, and you've got somebody else coming in saying, whoa, this is not okay. So, well, right here it is. We went through every legal process how we should, and we've done it all correctly. So.
Yep. And I understand that maybe somebody, they planned on staying here, their parents have passed away, they can't get back to visit their loved one, and they want to take their loved one I don't think it happens regularly, but I do understand that they may want to be closer to their loved one where they can visit.
She lives in Florida, and I didn't, I was working for the city. The urn was buried in 2013, and upon, I think, maybe a sudden passing of her brother, we actually buried in like 22, and that was like her last close family member. So that's, like you've spoken of, she just says she'd like to have the urn near her rather than here so far away. So, not with an urn, no.
I've heard of it before.
The other three, like I said, were all direct widows to, they were legally married at the time.
Yeah.
So,
I think it's the right thing to do, have one in place.
So it just needs to come back on the 8th?
Yeah, we'll put it on the consent agenda at the next meeting if you guys don't have any changes or concerns.
I don't. Nope.
And legally, you've looked at this, we're good?
Yeah, I drafted.
Okay.
We're good.
Cool.
Appreciate your time. Thanks, Robbie.
thank you.
Agenda item procedures. Council?
Yeah, actually, this was brought up at a meeting, and I don't remember when, but was asked to be brought back at some point, and this is that point. It was a discussion that you all wanted to have, so.
Tim brought it up.
Yeah, I believe it was the chickens was the issue that brought it up. And
How
at the end of
often?
that discussion was, how often can an item be brought back that's been voted on?
And I think I differentiate a little bit between council and public here, too. Council generally has a little bit more leeway, i.e. if they want to revise an ordinance and say, hey, look, I like the ordinance, I just want to tweak this, I want to bring it back, which is a little bit different. But I do see, otherwise we can inundate ourselves with, we vote no next month, bring it back until we either bend, but it could really dominate our agendas. I've always, when I was mayor, used the general rule that it was one mayoral term, that I would readdress the issue every 2 years when we have a new council. And then the reason there was, it doesn't fundamentally change until this January, right? I don't want to put a 2-year time span, because if we settled something this May, we have an election in November, there's a new term in January, the new council should be able to hear it and decide it. But once they've kind of heard it and decided it, it should be up to the council whether or not they want to rehear it.
Can I restate the procedure as I understand it?
Mm-hmm.
So the mayor sets the agenda and decides what items go onto the agenda. We approve the agenda as council members, and we can also amend the agenda with a vote. So if mayor doesn't want to deal with something again, he can not put it on the agenda, and we as council members, when we approve the agenda, can add it back on if there's a quorum vote to allow that.
But I think staff is looking for some direction on whether or not they put it on the agenda in the first place. Because right now, any item that comes to their...
Is that the correct procedure? So
That can happen, yes.
Yep.
okay.
And I think John's right. We're just looking for direction of, when we put stuff on the agenda, how often do you want us to put it on? I mean, yes, Steve technically sets the agenda, but most of the time it's Matt, I, and Roxanne putting it together.
And usually, I'll speak from Pat, and I don't want to step on your toes, maybe Joel, you can weigh in, that we usually give some pretty good leeway to when the public puts an item out, that the mayor shouldn't be the one saying, yeah, you know what, I'm just going to veto this item before the council. The most that I, maybe speaking out of turn here, would be, hey, I don't really want to deal with this at that meeting, can we push it back a month? Is usually what the mayor's role is. Joel, you agree on that? And that's more deference to the council, to let you all decide, because ultimately it's our meeting, it's the council's meeting.
I agree with that.
I don't like silencing the public. If they want to bring it up every meeting, I don't see why they should not be able to.
I mean, essentially it leads to a filibuster, to where we can't get other items of agenda done, because, so if we want to talk about chickens again, we'll talk about it next month, next week, next year, every week for the next 6 months. I think you're going to burn out council members too, that we're not making any progress.
But if I don't want it, I can bring it up, and then it can't be talked about again. So I've won, because I don't want it.
Well, the council can bring it back up. It's the it's the public it's how much input are we going to have from the public setting the council's agenda? And remember, we're elected by the public to set some agendas and to be here.
Yes.
That doesn't say the council couldn't bring it back.
We have public comment every month.
Right.
Or every 2 weeks.
Right, and they could come and comment public comments about chickens every time. The old kind of standing practice was often it took 2 council members to bring something back to the agenda. So that if you and Nick said, I really do want to discuss chickens next month, you'd go talk to the mayor, talk to Matt, and say, we want this back on. And as the council, you have a little bit more power to set that agenda. The question is whether, how much does the public have to set the agenda here? And how often will we hear the public, is at every meeting, on the same agenda item? Doesn't mean there can't be more.
We're not asking for public comments. We're asking for agenda items, action items, I guess, is more in tune of what we're asking for, not public comments. So somebody could come in.
But I could submit the action item request.
Right.
Every 2 weeks.
Yeah, you could, right now. I mean.
And every 2 weeks, we would then, would we be obligated to discuss it?
No, because during the approval of the agenda, there could be.
Yeah, but if you scratch from the agenda item, you essentially voted no on the agenda item for that 2 weeks, right? If you say, I'm going to amend the agenda and scratch this item, you're essentially voting no on that item, not just not to hear it, and then you're going to anger the public even more because they've shown up because it was on the agenda, right? You said, hey, this is on the agenda, we're going to hear it, and then at the meeting, the answer's no. I would be livid if I was the public versus, hey, we've discussed it, bring this back in a year. Or, hey, go talk to 2 council members, get those 2 council members to sponsor the item, right? And what that does is put more impetus on the council to say, hey, I am taking responsibility for this. I want to see it. I'm going to advocate on behalf this time. Because otherwise, we
listen to the public.
But sometimes we don't get but there are other items that we need to discuss.
Oh, yes, you're right. We do, in addition.
I mean, we can bring back chickens next month. Is it going to change?
It may or may not change, but you're not silencing that opportunity.
But we've heard them. That's my concern. Like, we've heard it, and nobody, and I'm pro-chicken, but we've heard the item, and I think it's a little bit disrespectful to some of the council members to keep pushing on an item when they've said, here's why I'm no, I'm willing to listen, but there's no new information or nothing to change the way they're voting. This is the exact same item repeatedly. What's going to change? And if 2 council members say, I want to do it, I think that puts the impetus back on the council to be responsive to their constituents.
I think we'd be tying our hands if we put a time limit on it. If something drastically changed, well, there's nothing we can do unless we change the ordinance.
I don't think
or is it policy or whatever it is.
I mean, but council can always override policy, and that's why I was suggesting 2 council members. 2 council members then sponsor it and say, hey, I want to hear this. Doesn't violate Cora or Coma, it's only 2. And then you lead the charge.
Can I just interject for just a second? I agree with everything both of you are saying, but just so that the public understands, this is not just because of the chickens. It's being used as an example, but purely just for an example, because we've had multiple different topics on
solar, recycling.
Yes, so I just want the public to understand that we're not picking on the chicken situation, it's others too, so.
So part of what I'm hearing is if we don't put a time restriction on it and we leave it open-ended, we could call for a vote on chickens in 2 weeks, and if it passes, somebody can come back at a meeting 2 weeks later and say, well, I want it to be a no, so let's go to vote again.
And then it would be just playing the game of who's present at that meeting.
Right. Because the same people are going to be president until the next election.
And so if it's 4-4 or 4-5, and then all of a sudden 2 of the yeses are gone the next meeting, could we repeal it the next meeting?
Yes, and if I'm public and I know that a vote that, if I didn't want it and I know a vote that could make it pass was going to be gone, I could say I want to talk about it at that meeting. And then it couldn't be brought up again. Because
It could. It would just take the council to do it.
Okay, well.
I mean, it would be my ideal.
John, what if we had, instead of 2 council members, just 1?
That's fine.
And the reason is that people might know one person and feel comfortable talking to them, and then, like, whatever the issue is, if somebody approached me and I felt like it was something the public was interested in, I could present it to the council.
Right, and you'd have a little bit better read of the agenda and
It also saves a headache should council shrink to 5. Because that's also been a discussion.
That's a whole
item
other
amongst
discussion.
us all. But that'd be a headache saver for future.
I would agree with Joel on that, just 1 council member then. So if you want to hear it again, you go talk to the mayor, set up the agenda, or set up the time for it. And the public can talk to you then and say, hey, I want this back, right? And you can say, I don't think we're going to get anywhere with it. Or, let's hear it. It puts the impetus back on the representative to represent their people.
I disagree with the policy.
So John, are you going to work with staff then to help draft that
I
up?
don't think we've got a consensus that they want that council wants that policy, so.
But if we have a policy in writing, we can discuss it more.
Okay.
And then make changes.
Okay, sure.
Okay.
All over it.
Okay, there's the direction then.
Thanks, Josiah.
Thanks, Dr. Wells.
All right.
How many more meetings?
Moving on. We need.
3 months from our next one.
We need an executive session.
Mayor, I'll move city council recess into executive session for 5 minutes pursuant to personnel matters of non-elected personnel, KSA 75-4319B1. The purpose of the executive session is to discuss an individual employee's employment and shall include the mayor, council, and human resources director. The regular meeting shall reconvene in the city council chambers at 6:41 p.m.
I'll second.
Well, before we...
Mayor, council, and, yeah, you're not in there.
Yeah, you're...
Okay.
I don't think.
Thanks.
I don't think we're needed.
We'll save your 5 minutes.
I second.
Hold on.
Wait. Before we vote, I want to know, maybe a little late, but at our meeting, we have the county appraiser.
Yeah, I see that. Were you coming to speak tonight on the R&R or anything, or just showed up?
All right.
Well, there's some ladies here earlier that wish to speak about, well, thanks for showing up.
We've used up over a minute of our time already.
We have a motion.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Opposed?
We got about 3 minutes left.
That'll be good.
Is it unlocked?